Before the thunder of tanks shook the world, deep inside Germany's secret design bureaus, something far more ambitious was taking shape. Beyond the legendary Tiger and Panther, engineers dreamed of monsters, colossal war machines that could crush anything in their path. These weren't just tanks, they were fortresses on tracks, but then they vanished, lost to time, buried under secrecy and rubble. What happened to Germany's forgotten heavy tanks? This is the story of the steel giants that never made it to war. Let's start with the true giant of German engineering, the Maus, or Panzerkampfwagen 8. It wasn't just a tank, it was a moving fortress. Weighing over 188 tons, it stood as the heaviest armored vehicle ever built. Its armor was so thick that few weapons on Earth could even scratch it. Armed with a 188mm main gun and a secondary 75mm cannon, the Maus was designed to crush anything in its path. On paper, it was unstoppable, a machine built to dominate the battlefield. But here's the irony. Its own strength became its weakness. The Maus was too heavy for most bridges, too slow for real combat, and too complex to produce in numbers. Only 2 prototypes were ever completed, and before they could roll into battle, the war was already ending. In the end, the Maus became more than a tank. It became a symbol, a reminder of how ambition can outgrow reality, and how even the most powerful designs can be defeated, not by enemies, but by their own impossibility. While the colossal Maus stood as a symbol of ultimate power, it wasn't alone in Germany's quest for armored supremacy. Behind closed doors, engineers were quietly developing a secret lineup, the mysterious E-Series. Each model carried its own identity and purpose. The E5, simple yet reliable, was meant to be the backbone, a practical design that could actually see mass production. Then came the E7, an ambitious experiment featuring a uniquely sloped turret, blending innovation with the lessons learned from the battlefield. And towering above them all, the E10, a monster envisioned to wield a massive 150mm gun, a weapon so powerful it could obliterate enemy armor in a single strike. These machines represented more than steel and firepower. They were Germany's attempt to rewrite the rules of tank warfare. But like many of the Reich's late war projects, the E-Series never moved beyond blueprints and prototypes. Ideas trapped between genius and impossibility. Then there was the Jagdtiger, a true monster of the battlefield. Built on the chassis of the fearsome Tiger II, this beast wasn't just a tank, it was a fortress on tracks. Armed with the colossal 128mm Pak-44 cannon, the Jagdtiger could obliterate enemy armor from distances where most tanks couldn't even return fire. One shot, that's all it took to turn even the toughest Allied vehicles into burning wrecks. But with such immense power came equally immense problems. The Jagdtiger was painfully heavy, slow to move, and prone to mechanical breakdowns. Its sheer weight made bridges crumble beneath it, and its fuel consumption was a logistical nightmare for an already struggling German army. In the few battles where it did appear, the Jagdtiger struck fear into anyone unlucky enough to face it. Yet despite its terrifying presence, it arrived too late and in too few numbers to change the course of the war. It stood as both a marvel of engineering and a monument to excess, proof that even the most powerful weapon can be rendered useless when born in the final desperate moments of a crumbling empire. Despite their incredible potential, these German heavy tank projects never truly saw the light of day. One by one they were abandoned, left to gather dust in secret facilities and forgotten blueprints. By the final years of the war, Germany was running out of everything: steel, fuel, manpower, even time. The once mighty war machine was crumbling under relentless Allied pressure, and grand projects like the Maus became impossible dreams. It wasn't just about technology anymore, it was about survival. The Maus, despite its groundbreaking design, was simply too massive, too complex, and far too costly to produce on any real scale. Factories couldn't keep up, transportation was nearly impossible, and the front lines demanded quick, efficient weapons, not engineering marvels that took months to assemble. In the end, the vision of unstoppable steel giants faded into history, replaced by the harsh reality of a collapsing empire struggling to hold the line. What remained were blueprints, prototypes and whispers, echoes of a time when ambition exceeded what the world could bear. The story of Germany's heavy tank program remains one of the most fascinating chapters in the history of armored warfare. These machines, though they never reached their full potential, pushed the very limits of engineering and revealed just how far human ambition could go in the pursuit of power. They were more than steel and firepower. They were symbols of vision and obsession, of a nation determined to create the ultimate weapon, no matter the cost. And while most of these giants never roared across the battlefield, their influence echoed through the decades, shaping the future of tank design and military innovation. In the end, they remind us that history isn't just written by victories, but by the dreams, experiments, and what-ifs that never came to be. Though the Mars, the E-series, and the Jagdtiger never changed the outcome of the war, their stories stand as a testament to humanity's relentless pursuit of innovation, even in the darkest chapters of history. These colossal machines weren't just built for battle. They were manifestations of ambition, born from a desire to create something that defied the limits of technology and imagination. Each bolt, each plate of armor, and every blueprint told the same story. A story of engineers and dreamers pushing against impossible odds. The Mars symbolized raw power, the E-series represented the vision of a new generation, and the Jagdtiger embodied sheer precision and firepower. Together, they formed a silent legacy of what Germany could have achieved had time and reality not intervened. But in the end, war isn't just about who builds the biggest or the strongest. It's about endurance, adaptability, and the ability to learn from failure. These tanks never rolled into glory, yet their influence echoed far beyond the battlefields. They inspired the designs that came after, and their spirit lives on in every modern armored vehicle that still carries their DNA, because sometimes the greatest legends of war are not those that fought, but those that never had the chance to